M S Natchiappan.
Thank you, sir. This is a great calamity for the Chennai city and also the coastal area of Tamil Nadu, especially from Andhra Pradesh coastal area to down to the south, Tirunelveli, Kanyakumari. All the coastal districts were affected. And just fortnight before, the rehabilitation work was also supervised by the central government team. But unfortunately, we are not implementing the statutory provisions which were already available with all the blueprints which are to be followed by the disaster management committee. And we have passed the Disaster Management Act 2005, which stipulates that when there is the natural disaster is happening, or there is a possibility of perception of natural disaster, then we have to start with the prevention, mitigation, and also the preparedness. These three areas have not been properly implemented. We are not blaming any government, but state government with their own facilities which are available within their own hand, they could do it. But the central government has to rush through the rehabilitation process now. We have got the incident, which is historically, we can describe it as never it can be expected like this. Nobody can expect it except by scientific method and having the records which are the part of the disaster management of resource network and knowledge network which are available, which are having all the data that how the 100 years before this had happened. More specifically, central Chennai city is having the outlets, that is Koovam River and then Adayar River and Buckingham Canal. Everything is Britishers have done it very excellently by making the river water, or making the rain waters to be dried immediately if this thing had happened. But unfortunately, this aspect we are overlooking it. As the government now wants to give some positive propositions, I request the central government to immediately rush through the naval forces, air force and military to dig the canals quickly, dredge the canals quickly so that the water can go out into the sea. And another aspect is all the people who are suffering, poor people have to be taken airlifted and put in the naval ships which are to be brought in nearby the ports, and they have to be protected, hospitalized, food should be given immediately, and they cannot live in that houses at least for fortnight or 20 days. Till then, it has to be taken as a national project. It should not be left for the state government alone. Let them do it. We will pay the money. Our officials will visit it. They will assess it. They will give the report after 10 days. These are all old colonial methods. But now the disaster management system is for the participation, not for contribution. You have to participate. National forces has to come. Departments of Home Department has to have the small department in agriculture, which was managing the disaster management, was brought into the Home Ministry just to have the coordination with all the departments of the Government of India and the state governments and district level and also taluk level and village level. That is why National Disaster Management Act was made, and there were committees to be made at every level, and they have to be coordinated with the local peoples equipped with all the tools and machineries so that they can go for the rehabilitation work immediately. It is not a blaming game, it is not a delay game, it has to be done immediately and it cannot be taken for granted. It is not the case that we will be helping afterwards, you spend now. That is not the case. You have to go with all the materials, machines, and human resources, scientific technology, and all other things which is in the command of the Government of India, which is having huge resources. It has to be pulled there, and it has to be brought into the Tamil Nadu and see that the people are rehabilitated. And also the infrastructure have to be immediately brought back properly. You know very well that the military is very much equipped to put the temporary bridges. Saidapet bridge is now overflowing the water. There is no traffic between that. From Chennai towards all the southern districts, trains were cancelled and all the bus routes were cancelled, all the carriages were cancelled. Why it had to happen? Immediately the military has to intervene and the bridges has to be restored, traffic has to be restored, and the people movement should be restored, and people should be protected in all respects. Beyond the 150 kilometers away from the coastal area, people are starving without the water. My district is not having any rain. There is a drought there. This is the situation of Tamil Nadu. We have to take into consideration all these issues and see that the acts which were made in the parliament has to be enforced properly. I don't want to blame anything, but you have not filled up the vacancies which are in the disaster management system. That is why the vice president is not there. President is the home minister, and other people could not convene. Prime minister could not take the time for that. All the machineries are lying vacant, they're idle. They could not coordinate with the state government. That's a problem we are now facing it. Kindly see that it is not questioning anybody, it is not blaming anybody. It is a total organ of India has to come forward and protect the people of India who are called as the Tamil people, who are living as a cosmopolitan city in Chennai and all the coastal areas. Now there is no separate India. It is a part of India. You have to take it that it is a challenge, and the central government should go there. It is not an easy way of talking anything and doing something. But at the same time, I request all the government, especially the government of the medical department, they have to rush through all the machineries, all the medicines, all the experts, and all the groups have to go and protect them from the disaster. Similarly, agriculture department, rural development department has to rush through it and protect the agriculture process which are now stopped there. And everything is submerged. It is not 4 officers are coming and looking at the thing and taking it a report for 10 days. We can't wait for like that. You have to rush all the materials there. You have to rush everything there, and not assessment and not granting the grant for somebody who are sub-ruled by some other thing. It is a part of the India. We have to take it as a challenge, and we have to see that all the possibilities which can come out through the paramilitaries, through the military forces, through the naval forces, and also through the Air Force. We have to take the command. Now the international port, Chennai, is now submerged by the water. Tirupati is also submerged now. Everything is going into the water because we are not taking any effective step to drain out the water. Rain may come, but draining is possible. It is not the midland. It is the part of the seashore. Therefore, we have to take into consideration, and people's cooperation is to be needed. People are crying every day. We are not at all attached with a system of the disaster management. We have to bring them inside. The act is itself already there. Huge proposition, huge fund allocation is given in the budget that has to be spent there. It is not for after 10 days or after 1 year. It is not the case. It is to be done within a minute, within an hour. That is why we accepted for the debate here, so that the central government should act immediately, and there should not be a differentiation between any of the part of the departments. All the departments have to coordinate and see that it is happening. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Mr. Natchiappan.